One of the ways unmasking has like really improved my life, there's so many, but one of the ways is in like connections, relationships, and friendships. Because in the past, I would, and this is something that's been like a gradual process for a few years for me, but it's just like really gotten to this new level this past year. But in the past, I would just take fault and take blame and just assume that the other person's reality was the only reality and go according to that, and just feel guilt and shame and wrong and broken, and like I messed everything up, and like, you know, something went wrong and it was like, oh, it must be my fault because this always happens. And, you know, especially when you're getting repetitive feedback about something that is just commonly misinterpreted, like, you know, I'm talking about like these were autistic traits and ways of communicating that were habitually reflected back to me in language of like me being cold, or language of me being cold or insensitive or rude, or harsh is one of them too. But I would get into this pattern of taking responsibility and then just ending there. Like taking in their reality, their perception, their interpretations and judgments of me, just accepting them as fact, and trying to figure out like why I am that way, and trying to like work on those things, like work on myself, fix myself, change myself in order to like do better in the relationship. And I would just leave it at that. It was one-sided, right? Like they were telling me what was happening and then I would just internalize it and work on it, right? I don't do that anymore in that way. Like I take feedback. I love feedback because I always want to improve and do better in the ways that I can. But I also now can advocate for myself and be like, hey, no, this isn't because it's not because I'm XYZ. This is just the way that I communicate, or I'm operating this way because of whatever, and not as an excuse, but as a way of like offering a platform of understanding. And then I reflect on my experience and be like, well, hey, what's going on for me? Like, is this really all about me, or is there something else that we can explore? That like, what am I actually feeling? What am I actually experiencing? What is it that I also need in order for this relationship to work? I never did that before.